Philly steak chicken breast on the menu today. Let's jump right into it. Hey, I'm going to list the ingredients of whatever you need in the description box down below. First thing I want to do is show you how to butterfly a chicken breast. What you want to do is you want to lay it flat. You want to run that knife through the middle part of it. Make sure the knife is not sticking up or down, but you got it level. Has to be level, otherwise you'll cut a hole in the top or the bottom of your chicken breast. See how I did it? So you don't want to do that. You don't want to put a hole in it, is what I'm saying. So make sure you cut it some, and then you take your knife and then you carefully cut it some more. You see how I'm doing it? Cut it a little bit. I'm going to cut it until we lay it all the way open. So imagine what a butterfly's wings look like when they open. You're going to lay it all the way open and flat. That's what we're looking for. And then once you do that, you got it. So even if it's a little uneven on one side, that's okay, because we're going to pound it, which is what we're going to do right now. Now get your butterfly chicken breast between two pieces of waxed paper, plastic wrap, or whatever you want to use. I use wax paper. Use whatever you have. Now, if you don't have a rolling pin, use a can, use a jar, use something that'll roll it out for you. Because or else you can use a meat mallet and then you can flatten it like that, or even a meat tenderizer will do it. So you have to use whatever you have. Sometimes you don't have things that you see other people using. You just don't have it on hand at that time. So my suggestion to you is, hell, use what you have. You don't have a rolling pin, find something else that's just like it. All right, see? That works. Now you roll this until you get this as flat as you want it. Because what happens is you may not want a really thick piece of chicken with that Philly topping on it. But then again, you just might. So it just depends on how you think you might want it, the thickness of it. So it depends. You got to think about that a little bit. So I like mine kind of flat. All right, we'll go on seasoning. So this is seasoned salt. So whichever way you normally season your chicken, you do want to season your chicken. Otherwise, you're going to have a bland piece tasting like a cardboard at the bottom of it. You don't want that. So don't do that. Get yourself some seasoning on it and make sure you season both sides. I don't know where people get that from, seasoning one side or something. Make sure you season both sides of your food. And don't be so heavy-handed with salt, especially if you get a seasoned salt that's really, really salty. Because some of them are more salty than others. So you just got to know what kind you're using at that point. So taste your seasonings too. Make sure you do that. It helps you when you're cooking to know what your seasonings taste like. So that's good. So now I'm just patting the seasoning in, because I don't want to leave all my seasoning on the bottom of the pan. Got no use for that today. I'm not going to deglaze the bottom of the pan, so I don't want to leave my seasonings there. You don't do it either. So pat your seasonings in real good. All right, we're going to swing over here. Don't get dizzy. Hang with me for a minute. We're going to swing over here. We already got a little oil in the pan. Use whatever kind of oil you want. Olive oil, grapeseed, corn oil, vegetable oil, whatever kind of oil you want to use. It's going to work out fine. Sizzle, sizzle. Sizzle, sizzle. Sorry, you can't hear it, but sizzle, sizzle, darling. I love the sound of it. And so you notice that I lightly seasoned that chicken breast too. So you don't have to heavily season. A lot of salt, pepper, just a lot of different seasons. You don't have to do that. But if you have something you would like to put on there, like oregano or something, that might work. Sometimes you got to come out of your comfort zone and try some new stuff. Don't go too drastic with it, but try some new stuff. So all right, now since this chicken breast is flat, it's going to cook fairly quickly. So you want to make sure you watch it. It's not going to take that long. And the thing is, you don't want to fry this until you get it golden brown, because if you do, it's kind of crispy, and that's not what you're looking for with this recipe. So you're not looking for, even though there's no flour on here, you're not looking for a hard fry on this chicken. So you want it to be kind of tender and a little soft. But you want to make sure it's done. Don't play with no chicken. Don't play with it. Don't play with salmonella. So make sure it's done all the way through before you take this out. So see how it's looking? So even if you needed to flip that back over again, you could. So you want to let that go for a few minutes. And trust me, it's quite quick too. All right. A couple of the regular mushrooms you find in the store. You can use any kind of mushrooms you want. You can use portobellos, or kind of a mini mushroom. You can use whatever kind of mushrooms you want here. You can switch up. Don't make too much of a difference. All right, I'm opting to chop mine up, but I do want to say right here that if you decide to leave yours in those slices like that, that will work out perfectly. You're still going to get the same flavor. So if you wanted to leave those, it would work. Because sometimes for presentation purposes, you want to do something a little bit different from what you see in the original recipe you find. So you find yourself doing that, do it. By all means, do it. All right, it won't take long. We just want to get these chopped up really quickly. It won't take long at all. And so remember, you know, when you have your chicken breast over there and you're taking it off, remember it has to go in the oven too. So you don't want to cook it too long that it really, really overcooks in the oven or it dries out, because you don't want dry chicken. Even though you're going to have this mixture on the top of it, you still don't want your chicken to dry out though. So that's what we have to think about, because we're not going to put it in any liquid. This is going to go with this topping, so it's almost going to go in the oven like a pizza. So you're not going to be able to put any liquid to get your chicken breast back juicy if you dry it out. So you don't want to do that. So all right, so I'm just going to give these mushrooms a little rough chop here. No biggie. It's small enough to go in the mixture, but you could leave them bigger than this if you wanted to. It's like I said before, if you want to leave those in those whole slices. So that's the same way here. If you want to leave this with, you know, a big chop, you could. Instead of a smaller dice, you could just chop and leave it. All right. I warn you ahead of time, this tastes just like this tastes just like a chicken Philly. It is so good. All right, you swing over here. We are going to season up the green peppers and the mushrooms. All right, so I just want to tell you, I cut the green peppers just like I did the mushrooms. So you'll heat your pan, put some oil in there, and then you'll get this mixture mixed up really well. So that's what you want to do. So you want to kind of eyeball this, and that is the way I gauge it. I look at it, I kind of look at the color of the peppers. So when there's still a pretty vibrant green, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a darker green. So when it gets a darker green, then you know you've cooked your peppers enough. So that's just a way for you to be able to tell, instead of going by a certain number of minutes, because it's going to depend on how big you chop your green peppers. So that's why I say go off the color, because if you dice it and you chop it, well, it takes longer to cook the ones that you chopped naturally. And if you mince it, then it's going to take less time to cook it even so with that. So that's why you have to pay attention to how you're cutting or how big you're cutting it. Then you have to cook it according to that. So that's just a good way to tell it, instead of having to get a timetable for it. You could tell by that. So good enough. Just a quick tip for you. So that'll help you. So you can manage your time if you're doing another dish on the side of this. Then it's easier to manage your time if you have some idea. All right, you know I say season every step of the way. So that is ground black pepper. You want to use coarse black pepper? You can. You want to make it spicier? You can. It's going to be good either way because you cooked it, right? Because that's what I say. Once I cook it, it's going to be good either way. All right. All right, so I'm just going to let you watch this cook down a little bit. So I'm not going to skip ahead for this. I'm actually going to let you watch it cook down. So you know what we're looking for. So naturally, you know those mushrooms, they're ready. So if you wanted to put them in later, you could. But it works here. It's not like they're going to overcook or anything, so no big deal. Alright, so just keep it going. And keep in mind right here too that if you wanted to add some onions here, you could. Red, white, yellow onions. Yep. Just make sure you do a small dice with them. And give it a little nice chop after you go through. After you get done chopping them. Go back through them, give them a nice little chop there. Alright, this is going on top of the chicken, so you do not have to wait until this mixture cools off in order to use it. So it's almost like once you put it in this bowl, you can go ahead and mix everything else in it. Alright, so you can't go wrong at this point. You cannot go wrong. Alright, I'm going to put that in the sink. I'll be right back. I'm back. That quick. Alright. So as I said, I'm going to list the measurements down there. But I also want to say, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, that like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So whenever I have a new recipe up, you'll be one of the first ones to know. That's for sure. And if you're coming back, welcome back. Thank you for watching. Glad you're taking this ride with me. I got much more in store. Stick with me. Alright, so it's about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, mayo. Any kind of mayo will do. Right? Doesn't need to be perfectly measured either, so. But you don't want to put too much of a heaping tablespoon in there. You don't want to do that either. You don't want to put too much mayo. You want this mixture. Well, you want it at nearly a perfect consistency. So if you look at that, it almost looks like, I'm trying to think, it almost looks like maybe the consistency of a really thick tartar sauce. So think of it that way. You know how that tartar sauce has that relish in it? Well, this is that consistency. It's quite thick if you look at it. So it's thick enough for us to spread it onto the chicken breast. And that's what we're looking for. And so the flavor you're looking for right there, if you've had Philly cheesesteaks or Philly chickens before, then you know the flavor that you're looking for. But if you haven't, then you're looking for a nice savory flavor there. So if you get something savory that tastes good, stick with it. That's what we're looking for. You're going to put some shredded cheese on top of this chicken breast anyway. Well, look at that. Spread that on there. But how about this? Look at that for Valentine's Day. Oh, look at this one just because. That breast is shaped just like a heart. You want to tell somebody you love them? It's a great recipe to make. Love you, babe. Love you, boo. All right, get that mixture on there. And don't spread it too thin either. Be kind of generous with it. Put enough of it up there. You cut into that chicken, you get all that flavor in your mouth with that cheese. That cheese is going to brown on the top just like pizza. Yes, look at that. So remember right here, put as much cheese as you want. You want to overload with cheese? Yes, that's what you do. So I put cheese right there according to the measurements that I put down below. So don't worry about me because I normally overdo it anyway. So I don't pay no attention to me, baby. You do it. Now look at this. So this is going to go in the oven. I'm going to let you know everything down in the description box. But now I'm going to show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. Bam! Now go try it for yourself. Let me know down in the comment box. Appreciate y'all spending this time with me. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, share, and by all means leave a comment. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. Bye.